What if I told you there are ultra wealthy areas of Iowa where homes are sold for well over $1 million every year? These areas are some of the finest places not only to live in Iowa, but the entire United States. With that being said, I'm going to go over the top 5 ultra wealthy areas in Iowa. But before we get to the top 5 areas where the wealthy lived, did you know that these 5 famous people lived in Iowa? At 5, we have a famous actor who was born in Cedar Rapids and played Frodo Baggins in The Lord of the Rings. This famous actor is Elijah Woods. At 4, this comedian and actor was born in Ottumwa, Iowa in southeast Iowa. His most famous role was Arnie Thomas in Roseanne. This famous comedian and actor is Tom Arnold. At 3, we have America's 31st president who served from 1929 to 1933 and was born in West Branch, Iowa, just east of Iowa City. His name is Herbert Hoover. At 2, we have a famous actor who was born and raised in Cedar Rapids, but ended up going to high school at Clear Creek Amana near Iowa City. He was known for many roles, with Kelso in That 70s Show as his most well-known role. His name is Ashton Kutcher. At number 1, this American icon was born in Winterset, Iowa, and was nicknamed the Duke. He is the most famous Western actor and arguably the most famous actor of all time in John Wayne. Now, I may not be as famous as these 5, but I do help people move to the great state of Iowa. So if you're looking for a home here in Iowa, give us a shot. We love helping people just like you have a safe and smooth move to Iowa. Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, as we would love to represent you in your move to the great state of Iowa. The locations we are about to go over are so special, and I hope you are as excited as me to see where the ultra wealthy live in Iowa. Before we get to the list, if you think I messed up or missed an area, leave it in the comments below. At 5 is a suburb of Des Moines with nearly 30,000 people that my mother-in-law, my wife, my daughter, and my son and I all toured this year while making the Caitlin Clark video we did a little over a month ago. It not only is one of Des Moines' best suburbs, but it's also a place that the ultra wealthy Iowans call home. One thing about this suburb of Des Moines is it is a super clean, and most of the businesses are either newer buildings or the faces of the business are remodeled. I will be focusing on sold data to show you the prices of this area. In the last year, 18 homes have been sold that are over $800,000, with the highest price home sold in the last year, according to Zillow, came in at $1.6 million. This suburb of Des Moines is Waukee, Iowa. According to Zillow, the average home price in Waukee is just over $350,000. At 4 is a suburb of Iowa City that has a home that I can honestly say has the nicest and biggest home I've ever seen in my entire life. It is massive and has a separate garage that really shouldn't be called a garage, as it is larger than most outbuildings. This home also has a complete custom underground pool that my brother-in-law, who did all the plumbing on this home, said was over $1 million alone. Other crazy amenities this home had was a pool house, full-size basketball court, 2 full-size batting cages, and a full-size baseball field with dugouts. The home is the masterpiece that towers over all these amenities. I have heard it is the most expensive home in all of Iowa, and I wouldn't be shocked if that was true. This town is on the smaller side with just over 3,000 people living in it, but it does not mean that the ultra wealthy are not attracted to it. In the last year, 11 homes have been sold for over $800,000, with the highest price home sold here coming in at $1.7 million. This suburb of Iowa City is known as Solon, Iowa. According to Zillow, the average home price in Solon is nearly $420,000. At 3 is a smaller community with a huge lake. It is Iowa's 3rd largest lake in the entire state. My wife and I went ice fishing here years ago together. In fact, we made the over 2-hour trip from where we live 2 days in a row and got skunked rather than my wife, who caught a master angler yellow bass at this lake. In case you don't know what a master angler is, it is a trophy-sized fish in a specific species, and my wife Anna caught one over the length limit to qualify for a Master Angler Award, where you get a bumper sticker and a piece of paper with your picture of you and the fish. It's pretty cool, honestly. Anyways, currently in this small community of just over 7,500 people, there were 14 homes sold for over $800,000, with the highest priced home sold in the last year coming in at $3 million. This small community with a big lake is Clear Lake, Iowa. According to Zillow, the average home price in Clear Lake is just over $330,000. At number 2, we are going back to a suburb of Des Moines, and we did a tour of this area as well when we shot the B-roll for Caitlin Clark's video we did. It was right next to Waukee, and it's probably our favorite area in all Des Moines area, at least from what we have toured ourselves. This area, in the last year, 26 homes have sold for over $800,000, with the highest price home sold coming in at $1.99 million. This suburb is one of, if not the best suburbs in Des Moines, called Clive, Iowa, that is home to just under 19,000 people. The average home price in Clive, according to Zillow, comes in at just over $420,000. At number 1 is a smaller population area that we have covered before, but honestly, it gets overlooked. It is home to the largest 2 lakes in all of Iowa, if that doesn't give it away already. It is hands down the place where the highest value real estate is sold year in and year out in Iowa. And reasonably so, as the area is absolutely gorgeous and special. If you haven't been here, you need to go. Our occupational therapist for our son is from this area and raves about it. This area is in northwest Iowa, and between all its communities, the latest reporting says there are over 17,000 people who live in this metro, if you want to call it that. It is hard to believe that it is still this small, as again, it is stunning here. It is hard to tell how many homes sold over $800,000, as the largest town of around 5,500 people alone had 15 that sold for over $800,000 alone. I would guess there are between 30 to 40 that sold in the area overall at over $800,000 price tag, with the highest price home sold in the last year coming in at $3.08 million. I won't make you wait any longer with the name of this area, and it is best known as Spirit Lake, Iowa, that is home to Lake Okoboji, Big Spirit Lake, and Small Spirit Lake. In a nutshell, it is a lake area that is Iowa's finest and most expensive. The average home sold in Spirit Lake, according to Zillow, comes in at just over $320,000. Now, if you are considering moving to Iowa, I suggest you watch our latest video that is on your screen now, where I go over some changes that happened in 2024 you need to be aware of as a buyer and seller in Iowa real estate.